Live at 5, it's offer review, and we're going to go over a bunch of stuff, but that event just started right now today, and I've been getting a lot of questions about, I've got X amount of training materials. Are they going to run more events like this in the future? I don't know. But what I know is that I opened up about 65 training orbs, and this is how far I got in the event, and other people are saying that if you open up 165, you'll get to the end. There's a pretty steep progression here between milestone 39 and 40, and myself personally, I'm just going to be going for milestone 39. So it is what it is. Also, inside of the web store, I mentioned this yesterday, but I wanted to mention it again. I believe there was 500 that we got for in a calendar, which is useless. So here's an additional 1,500, which is in the web store. That way you can open up that orb, which does give Blue ISO 4s, but sometimes it only gives you like 25,000, and it also gives you points towards an event. Also, there was an error with the Villains United Hard Chapter 7. Today, Chapter 7 of the Villains United difficulty hard with live, but it's several issues. First, the story scenes are active but not intended to be. Second, the enemy characters are equipped with lower gear than intended. Third, some of the new node preview rewards are not accurate. So there's been some issues with that. Issues will be corrected as early as tomorrow, Thursday, but it could take a bit longer due to the review process. What? There's a review process? Cool. Okay. Cool. Enjoy earning all the new rewards in Chapter 7. And there was some people that were like not really thrilled about it, like the She-Hulk and Morbius. What a garbage game. Blitzsimmers are literally the easiest farms in the game, and 3 of the best tunes available in the store are now in campaign nodes for no reason at all. Yeah, I agree with this post, but I mostly was just happy that I have access now to Spider-Man Noir and Black Panther 1 mil. So it is what it is. Now, something else, a lot of people are asking about the costumes, and interesting thing about the sweepstakes is that it ended on April 12th, which was 11 days ago. And then right here it says winners will be notified via email to the email address provided upon entry on or about 7 days after the end of the sweepstake period. I like how they have, about 7 days, which could mean a month. I don't even know. And then also, I've been getting a lot of questions about Bucky. So Bucky, you can see right there, I've got Bucky as a striker, but a lot of people are asking about what T4s. If you go into the main website, MarvelStrikeForce.com, and you go into when you click right, let's see if I'll show you how to get here. It's actually pretty interesting. You can go in right here and click game, and then you hit analysis, and then you can go into tier 4 confidence, and you can actually sort right here with all the invaders. And I think most of this information is going to be pretty accurate, but then if you just want to do Bucky, then you can see that people are doing the passive first, the special, and then maybe you don't need to do the ultimate or the basic. So this is a great tool, and you can go through and do that. Now, sometimes this information is not very good on reworked characters, so take that with a grain of salt, but new characters, I find the information very good. Now, also, there was a post on the Player's Voice Discord, which I referenced yesterday in the Tadano Mac Zubin video, where there was an interesting post written by John Bull on Twitter, and this was back in November, and he talks about thermocline, and he's talking about working for companies that, and he even mentions video games, like he's worked for video game companies where they have a steep drop off in their customer base, but it's too late because they didn't, in the years prior, they were raising prices. Customers were continue to buying because of sunk cost fallacy and things like that, or the investment. And then they get to a point where enough's enough, and then they drop out. And it's a long read, but I'm gonna link this in the description, and I really hope somebody at Scopely reads this, because it basically says that you can't just count on your numbers, and because you're raising prices and doing crappy things to your customers, and just because they put up for up to a point, but there's going to come to a point where people are going to say enough is enough. And what this guy is saying is he's seen this over and over again, where they hire him when it's too late and people typically disappear all at one time, and it's called a thermocline. And so we asked Chat GPT to summarize this, and I did it, and then somebody in chat did it for me as well. Thank you, whoever got this, because the version that they got was much better. The author discusses the concept of trust thermocline. In the context of mobile games that use loot boxes, the trust thermocline refers to a point which players who may initially accepted and paid for loot box suddenly stop engaging with the game and abandon it. The author explains that this can happen even without obvious signs of dissatisfaction or competition. And he cites actually the sunk cost fallacy is like, people are like, they're depleting this trust currency without it actually showing in the numbers. And when you go too far, you've gone too far. The author attributes this phenomenon to breached trust caused by changes in loot box mechanics, such as increased prices or decreased rewards, which may have been tolerated by players initially, but eventually erodes their trust and investment in the game. The author emphasizes the importance of game developers being attentive to player feedback, not assuming that past acceptance of changes guarantees future acceptance, and treating players' trust as a finite asset. The author shares an anecdote about a gaming company that repeatedly implemented loot box changes for several years, but eventually experienced a decline, and it's a rapid decline in player engagement, illustrating the point that trust thermocline is a real phenomenon in the mobile game industry. And I'm going to talk about some of the things here. I talked about a little bit yesterday in that video about Tadano Mac and with Zubin. And this post, I think, hits the nail on the head. For some people, auction ranking milestones have to stop. Blue ISO 5 ions only in auction ranking events is evil. How can you have a full currency only available to players that spend the most, competing between them to outspend the others? Basically, they're auctions, right? And only by spending tons of money. This is not a game, it's an auction. Probably guess is not cool. Seriously managed to get mad all of your super big spenders. In the process, also alienate all your players. That's to stop as soon as possible now. Burning all the bridges. You don't change your behavior, you're going to lose all your big spenders. Yes, you're alienating most of your big spenders, but they're going to move with all their money to some other game. Now, I'm not going to read all of this because I agree. The system that the game typically has had is that a new progression system comes out and it is super expensive. And then after the big Krakens that everybody have bought through and upgraded everything they need group, then they make it more available to others. At the same time, introducing a new system. So my guess is that they're going to release Gear Tier 18, or they've already announced it, right? They're going to come out with Gear Tier 18. And that's when that happens, that's when maybe this Blue ISO 5 will become a little bit easier to get. That's what I'm hoping. That's what they did in the past. But right now, a lot of people are talking about not only the struggle to get Blue ISO 4, Gear Tier 17, Gold, and then Blue ISO 5. The problem with Blue ISO 5 is it's nowhere. Basically, it's, you can see that there's a little bit here, right? If you get to milestone 40, but you need like 1.7 million to do a single character. That's not really a meaningful amount right there at 400,000. So anyways, I hope this problem resolves itself. But, again, back to that thermocline, just because people have bought in the past, doesn't mean that, once the trust is eroded, it goes off steep off a cliff, according to this person who's worked on other loot box games. And his experience is that usually by the time that the numbers drop, it's too late, is kind of the whole point. And he talks about how the water in the ocean drastically drops at a certain point, at a certain depth, and it's very sudden when it happens. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Now, I'm a boomer. Even though I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, I was not aware of this meme, but I think it's interesting. All events are fair. No CCs are quitting. No legendary players are quitting due to cash grabs. There are no bugs. Everyone loves Room 5. We're going to talk about Room 5. My goodness. Oplex is worth the year-long events. There's no war in Ba Sing Se. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And I don't know. They were talking about Tadano, and I just wanted to say something that Tadano said, which I thought was interesting. and I wonder if this had something to do with it. Is one of the big announcements when he got the gold apocalypse, which kind of looks funny to me, because he did it first, I guess. He was able to give out 100 shards, but noticed that Zombie Iron Man and King were excluded. Why? Why would they exclude him having the option of giving out 100 Zombie Iron Man and King? They're not legendary. Those were straight up offered characters, not any different than many other characters. So I don't know. But King was never approved. And so they said the latest character's up to Bucky Barnes. But anyways, let's move on. Get rid of Cosmic Crucible bonuses. They're not fun. Room 5 is absolutely atrocious. There are ways of getting through Room 5, but it's generally hard. Just kind of reminds me of a worse version of Heroes for Hire. Clearly, they're creating a problem, selling a solution. But I feel like it diminishes from the idea of, a player can use their combat prowess to win. But no, it's almost like a function of buying the next team, because they created a problem and they're going to sell us a solution. So it's not even about skill. It's just whether or not you buy the new characters that are coming out. So, which is going to be new warriors, right? Little enjoyment I had from this game mode is all but diminished due to how bullshit the room is. I guess YouTube says I can say that word now, which I never really ever cussed on YouTube, but I guess they don't care as much anymore. Characters with Cosmic Crucible bonuses backed into their kits, fine. Creating asinine bonuses for characters that don't have any synergy with other characters to frustrate players into oblivion because I don't know if I want to say that word or not. Fuck your commander. I did it. All right. I feel so weird. Count me out. Miss me with that shit. This game is garbage. And it feels so liberating. I can say whatever I want on Twitch. It's like the best thing ever. And I'm always scared to say things because I want it to be advertiser approved. I haven't had one shut down yet, but it's interesting. The game mode is garbage, and room bonus is ruining it even further. Ugh, I mean, I definitely agree with that to a certain degree. It's just kind of weird that the way that they're doing it. Let's get on to some offers. I bought one of these offers that basically got 125 dark promotion credits. Got some red star orbs. I only open those when we have 10x dark promotion credits at this point. And then typically they try to sell 200 T4s for $20. So I think that's pretty good. I'll probably buy the other one. That seemed reasonable enough. T4s and then dark promotion credits are pretty scarce. Gambit. The thing about Gambit is he's available in the Cosmic Crucible store. So I don't know if you need to do that. I think most people have maxed out their Gambit. Then we've got Deathlock, which is helpful in the raids. Boy, that team doesn't always win. It's kind of a tricky team. I really don't like raid bonuses. And then it was brought to my attention that these are fully crafted, I guess, blaster. So, like, if you wanted to upgrade these pieces to Blue ISO 4, you'd have to spend about $60,000 a piece. So this has got basically not only some ions, but baked into it about 300,000 Blue ISO 4s. I don't think it's a great deal, but it is what it is. All right. Well, now it is time for the giveaway. Really hope you liked today's video, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Hawkeye. I wonder why they call him Hawkeye. I don't know. It's a meme. I don't know. It's a giveaway. Bye for now.